Yo, Jeeshan, there's a fight this weekend.
Really? Between who?
Two people called Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of hype around this fight. I think we just should cover it for the fans, you know?
I think we should cover it.
The king is back! He's here!
Wait. Are there not the two kings right there?
Oh, shut up, man. I'm talking about the Irish gorilla, Conor McGregor, and he's facing Dustin Poirier at UFC 257 this weekend. We're here to cover it. We're here to predict it for you guys, so stay tuned. Conor McGregor, the man is back now. And in all his interviews, all he's trying to do is convince us that he's the same hungry man that he was back in the day. In the days where he beat Jose Aldo in 15 seconds. He beat Nate Diaz in the rematch. And when he became the double champ against Eddie Alvarez. That time span between Marcus Burmage till Eddie Alvarez, he was hungry. And all Conor McGregor is trying to do right now is convince us that he is the same guy. Let's take a trip down memory lane, where he destroyed the featherweight division and became the double champ. But the four fights that stuck out to me the most were probably the Chad Mendes fight, the Jose Aldo fight, the Nate Diaz rematch, and the Eddie Alvarez fight. So let's talk about this. So let's start with the Chad Mendes and Jose Aldo fight. We need to understand how hungry he was at the time. Because he wasn't even supposed to fight Chad Mendes. He actually was supposed to fight Jose Aldo. But Jose Aldo gets a broken rib, and in 2 weeks' notice, Chad Mendes steps in. And then Conor McGregor finds out he has an injured knee. And he doesn't even know if he wants to fight or not. But he still goes with the fight and was getting out-wrestled in the second round against Chad Mendes.
And this is what everyone wanted to see. The one thing that he hadn't faced is a talented wrestler.
Mendes keep him busy.
But against Chad Mendes, he found a way to win. At the end of the second round, he knocks him out. And now, finally, he gets to face Jose Aldo, who he beats in 15 seconds. That's the type of magic I'm talking about. That's the type of magic that Conor creates in the octagon. A dominant champion for 10 years and he beats him in 15 bloody seconds? Like, that's just insane. And come on, no one does it better than Conor. And he's become this huge icon now because of that moment.
Oh my God! The first punch he threw slept him. It was a straight left. And Aldo connected with a left.
From both those fights, he makes us believe that he always finds a way to win. And he proves that again in the Nate Diaz rematch. Like, in that rematch, in the third round, he had to dig deep. Because normally this is the time where he gasses out. But no, he had to dig deep. And in the fourth round, he was the significant striker. In the fifth round, he was the significant striker again. And wins by unanimous decision.
Scores it 48-47 for the winner by majority decision, the notorious Conor McGregor!
Then he moves down to the lightweight division in his conquest to become the double champ and make history in the UFC. Like, this man is just jumping around weight classes, looking so comfortable. No one does it better than Conor. So in the Eddie Alvarez fight, in that fight, man, it's probably one of my favorite fights. Like, the sheer dominance, the amazing striking completely outstrikes Eddie Alvarez. I don't think Eddie Alvarez laid even one glove. It was that insane. And that's why we need to talk about his skills. The sideways stance, his countering ability. That footwork literally helps him to be one of the best counterers we've ever seen. Probably the greatest countering in the UFC history. Like, I'm not even surprised that that left hand just seems to land. The touch of death just seems to land. And he gets him every time. And he showcased the best of his skills in that Eddie Alvarez fight. No wonder it's one of my favorites. He adopted that footwork, that sideways stance from Gunnar Nelson in Iceland when he was working with him. And Gunnar Nelson had a karate background. And that's where he got it from. No wonder he's the best counterer in the UFC. And the precision in his strikes, and the knockout power. Like, all his fights have been finished by knockouts. And he knocks down Eddie Alvarez like 3 times in that fight. And he becomes the double champ.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he
he wants.
Another thing that helps him tremendously is how calm he is in the octagon. How ready and relaxed he is in the octagon. Because that's the best state you should be when you're fighting. If you're thinking too much, then all things go wrong. But him, he just knows what he has to do. He knows the game plan and he executes.
So let's start with Dustin Poirier, arguably one of the greatest strikers in the lightweight division. Dustin Poirier is one of the star weight, he takes one to give one. And you see this in many fights. You see this in the 2 Eddie Alvarez fight, the 2 Max Holloway fights. You see this in the Justin Gaethje fight, and the Dan Hooker fight. This list keeps on going on. But let's get into his skills. Guys, there's been a major evolution in Dustin Poirier's striking, but let's start with his early days. There were 4 moves which gave Dustin Poirier great success in the early UFC days. There was a straight left, the right jab, the right hook, and the right uppercut. So you see this in the Eddie Alvarez fight. Me and Jeeshan know that Eddie Alvarez is no bum. This guy was a former champion. But something with Dustin Poirier did really well, he was mixing up his shots, where he was using the 4 shots, which I said before, to land to the body, to the face. And Eddie Alvarez did have no answers. But something which Eddie Alvarez learned that day was to take a page of John Jones' book, to use the illegal knee. And unfortunately, the first fight was a no contest. But Dustin Poirier showed his skills and he had great success in that.
Вот сейчас пропускает Альварес, прокатились локоть на отмаш, но крайне суровые добивания в исполнении Пуарье.
So after the no contest with Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier went back in the gym and added more skills to his arsenal, where he started adding footwork and he started changing his stance, and this did great wonders in many fights for him. Ever since Dustin Poirier has added footwork to his skills, he has had great success. Let's take the example of the second Eddie Alvarez fight. He did really well in that fight. Even though the first was no contest, he came out with vengeance. And you see that way, anytime Eddie Alvarez is coming, he just pushes back his legs back and he counters. And throughout the fight, he's setting up his footwork in the right positions to get a power strike. And ultimately, Eddie Alvarez has no game plan and he gets the win by TKO. So you see his footwork in the Justin Gaethje fight. And everyone knows how bad Justin Gaethje is. The power he has in his hands. And something with Dustin Poirier did really was where he used his footwork, where he was countering, where he wasn't trying to come in too close, where Justin Gaethje could just use his right hand and just put you to sleep. And the footwork was setting up so many big shots, where he was setting up to the body, where his uppercuts were landing non-stop, the hooks. And Justin Gaethje just didn't have an answer. And this all came from the great footwork. And ultimately, Justin Gaethje got TKO'd and Dustin Poirier came up on top. Dustin Poirier changing stance throughout the fights has had great success in 2 fights. It was the Max Holloway second fight and the Dan Hooker fight. Let's take the Max Holloway second fight. That great deal for both of the fighters. It was the interim title, and something which Dustin Poirier did very well throughout the fight when he was changing from southpaw to orthodox. And this is very difficult for anyone like Max Holloway to do, form any kind of combos, because whenever someone's changing from southpaw to orthodox, they keep on changing stance and footwork. So you can't never get a tie hold of where they will move next. And then this led to Max Holloway kind of trying to close the distance. And this is where Dustin Poirier had great success. Because anytime Max Holloway is trying to close the distance, he will just slip back, counter. And Dustin Poirier has great power in those hands. And you could see Max Holloway was getting rocked. And at the end of the night, Dustin Poirier did enough to get the interim title. But the craziest fight of 2020 was a fight against Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is no bum. This guy beat Paul Folder. But Dustin Poirier just had to humble him. And he got humbled. Dan Hooker was trying to be Conor-like, but Dustin Poirier was like, no, you're not getting past me. And we see throughout that fight, like from round 1 to round 5, that was so crazy. Dustin Poirier was just using everything he has in his arsenal, changing stance, using elbows. We never see him use elbows, and he was using elbows. And you could see Dan Hooker was holding on for dear life, because at the end of the fight, Dustin Poirier is just chilling. He's just talking to his coach, and Dan Hooker's sitting on a stool, probably doesn't know where he is. He probably thinking he's in New Zealand. But I'm telling you, it's no easy fight for Conor. I think Dustin Poirier is going to win. Guys, there are many reasons why I think Dustin Poirier is going to win this fight. I think he's just a different gravy at 155. Like, he's only lost twice in lightweight, whereas Conor's 1-1, bro. some star in UFC. Oh, you know what? But the power and the combos, like people love Conor too much. People are out there dick riding Conor. Like if Jeeshan, if he wasn't Muslim, I'm telling you 100% he will get a Conor tattoo saying Mystic Mac is back or something. But Dustin Poirier is not one of those people who chat shit. That's why he's not got to the top. Because you don't trash talk like Conor does. Many people don't like Dustin Poirier, but this person, Dustin Poirier, is so good. And he's got, I'm telling you, if Conor doesn't knock him out within the first 2 rounds, it's lights out for him. Because with Conor, the 8 minutes is a bad time for him. After the 8 minutes, everything he has in his body goes. With Dustin Poirier, that's not happening. This guy's a background in jiu-jitsu, so he has the gas tank and he has the power. So I'm telling you, he's going to win by knockout.
What? You think Dustin's gonna win? Come on, we all know that Conor McGregor is gonna win. Come on. He's just talking a lot of trash. I don't know where he found his new love for Dustin Poirier. Don't get me wrong, I respect Dustin Poirier. I hate the media at the moment where they say that, oh, just because Dustin Poirier lost the first fight, he's gonna lose the second fight as bad. But no, that's not true, because Dustin Poirier has evolved throughout the years and he's made a name in the lightweight division. But I just don't think his skills are as top-notch as Conor's, because Conor is the better striker, has the better footwork, and has the power in his hands and knocked out basically all of his opponents. He doesn't have to go to war with any of his opponents because he just stops them in 2 rounds. That's why Conor is going to win. He has the touch of death and he is going to win this fight by knockout by round 2. And there's no stopping Conor, and he's going to stomp through the lightweight division. And then people come up to me and tell me, what about Dustin Poirier's wrestling? Listen, when have you seen Dustin Poirier willingly go in for a takedown? Exactly. I know he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and let's say he does try and take down Conor. It's going to be a long, hard night if he's trying to take down Conor, because even Khabib kind of struggled against Conor, because Khabib in the first round, for example, he was having a hard time trying to put down Conor. And even in the 3rd round, when Khabib tried to go in for a takedown, stopped by Conor. And Khabib knows that Conor is his hardest opponent compared to all the other fighters that Khabib has faced. But if he faced Khabib just after that Eddie Alvarez fight,
Stop talking. Just stop talking now.
he would have destroyed Khabib.
No,
he would have destroyed Khabib.
No, he wouldn't
I
have.
understand he smashed him in 2018. I completely understand. Completely dominated him. And Conor was rusty. A 1-year rest. But let me tell you something. After that Eddie Alvarez fight, I'll bet all my money. Just if we can go back in time to that time. And if they were to make a fight against Khabib just after the Eddie Alvarez fight, Conor would have smashed him.
BS.
Conor would have smashed him.
BS.
So when it comes to the wrestling thing, this is going to be a straight out striking bout for sure. And I know Conor's going to win. Watching, guys, we have so many great fights happening in 2021, and we are going to be predicting them and we are going to be reacting to them. Like, we have fights like Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns. We have Israel Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz, and there's going to be a new double champ. So please like, please subscribe and comment who you think is going to win this fight. Is it going to be Conor McGregor or is it going to be Dustin Poirier? Take care.